Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. So welcome all the devotees for today's reading. Today is also Ekadashi. So we thought of discussing some special pastime from the Srimad Bhagavatam about Krishna's wives. So we know that Krishna has 16,108 wives. And sometime the modern people, when they hear this number, the mind just blows up. People are struggling to maintain just one wife. And Krishna had 16,108 wives. So there is a story behind that. But among all of them, so a story is that Krishna killed one demon. The short story, Krishna killed one demon called Bhaumasur, who has arrested many of the princes. And after killing the Bhaumasura, Krishna released all those girls from the custody of this Bhaumasur. So in the Vedic times, the tradition was like if the girl has been out from the father's house under somebody's custody, then it's kind of socially she is outcast and nobody will accept her. So these girls, after getting released from the custody of Bhaumasur, they express sincerely that who will accept us now? Where would we go? We cannot go back. Nobody will even marry with us. So then Krishna gave them the shelter by marrying them. So this is the short story how Krishna had that many wives. Among all those wives, 8 wives are very, very prominent ones. Some of the names you might be already familiar with. So starting from Rukmini, Satyabhama, and then Rukmini, Satyabhama. Anybody remembers the names?
Jamvanti.
Other day we were discussing the story of Shamantaka jewel, right? So Satyabhama was the daughter of Shatrajit. And then Krishna went to find the jewel in the cave and he fought with the Jambavan. And after getting defeated, and to pacify Krishna, he offered his daughter called Jambavati. So then this is another wife. So Rukmini, Satyavama was the daughter of Satrajit. So he was very ashamed of spreading the rumors against Krishna, and at the end, when he came to his senses, and then he begged forgiveness and also offered the daughter in marriage. That was Satyavama. Then Jambavan offered the daughter. She is Jambavati. So Rukmani, Satyavama, Jambavati. Then another wife of Krishna is Kalindi. So there was a rumor that in all these Pandavas, along with Kunti, they're burnt into the house of Shalak and they're dead and gone. But later they were seen in the assembly, in the, they got married in Draupadi and then they came back with Draupadi. So many of them, they were like shocked, especially those who conspired against Pandavas, planned to kill them. They were shocked to see them alive, along with one beautiful wife, Draupadi. So when Krishna got to know this news, of course, Krishna knows everything. He is the Supreme Lord. He is sitting in everyone's heart as Paramatma, Super Soul, Supreme Knower. But here Krishna is playing the part of an ordinary human being. So Krishna, when he got to know that the Pandavas are still alive, then he wanted to come and visit them. So Krishna arrived in Hastinapur without any invite. He just suddenly showed up, and these Pandavas, they became enlivened. Right? It is just like for them, they got their life back. They were enlivened by seeing Krishna. They received him, welcomed him, and then Krishna met some other people, and then finally he was sitting with them. And then he met Kunti Maharani. Kunti Maharani glorified Krishna. She remembers that how Krishna never forgets them. That immediately Krishna came and she was very happy. And she expressed that, our greatest hope is that Krishna remembers us. So if Krishna remembers anyone, that person is the safest person in the entire creation. So like that, she glorifies Krishna and she also expressed the gratitude And my dear Lord, that you always remember us, you are always there for us to protect us in all situations and like that. So they were very, very happy having Krishna, coming and meeting them. So when Yudhishthira Maharaj requested him that Krishna, anyway, you come here, so why don't you stay back and spend some more time here with us? So Krishna agreed. So one day, Krishna, along with Arjuna on a chariot, they went to the forest, for some outing. And also, Arjuna was carrying his bow and arrow, the Gandiva. And the Kshatriyas had this practice of, going to the forest and hunting some animals. For a different reason, it is. They had to practice their archery, number one. And also, it's the duty of the Kshatriyas to keep the forest also very peaceful. So sometimes there's a lot of disturbance when all these wild animals increase in the forest, and in the forest also resides all these great sages. They go to the forest for their meditation, spiritual practices. So when all these too many wild animals, they start creating disturbance to the sages. So in that situation, it's the duty of the Kshatriya that they keep the forest also very peaceful by killing those wild animals, and also it enables them to practice their archery skills. So like that, Krishna and Arjuna, they went. Of course, Krishna did not hunt and he need not to practice also. He is supremely powerful Lord. But Arjuna was doing the hunting and all that, and after getting tired and exhausted, he went to the river, the water reservoir there, and then he was drinking the water very exhausted and tired. And then Krishna and Arjuna, both of them, they saw one beautiful girl, walking there in the forest. And they're amazed to see that how this beautiful girl is here in the forest. So Krishna indicated Arjun that you should go and inquire who is this girl and why she's here, what she is doing here in the forest. So Arjuna goes and asks that, oh beautiful lady, what you're doing, who are you, and tell us, and what is your purpose being here all alone in the forest? Let me know that if we can help you in any way. So this beautiful girl, she revealed that, I am the river Yamuna personified. My name is Kalindi, and I'm here. And I know that you are the great devotee, great warrior, great devotee of Krishna. And I know that you can help me definitely. And what help I need is that I have decided that I will marry none other than the Supreme Lord Vishnu. And I know you are the great devotee of Krishna, who is none other than Vishnu. So you should help me. So Arjuna says, okay, I can help you. So one important lesson that we can learn, this Kalindi, Yamuna river, she has the desire to attain Krishna, to accept Krishna as husband. But she did not directly approach Krishna. And that teaches us a very, very important lesson, fundamental lesson that we learn in Krishna consciousness, that Krishna cannot be approached directly. There has to be a via media, transparent via media, a pure devotee, a Mahabhagavata, a bona fide spiritual master. So when we approach a bona fide spiritual master in the right attitude, pariprashnena, uh, sevaya, pranipat pariprashnan sevaya, when we do, in a humble and submissive mood, we inquire, we ask, we express, we render service. And that enables by the grace of the bona fide spiritual master that one can receive the grace of Krishna. Yasha prasadat bhagavat prasado yasha prasadan nagati kutobi. This is the principle. When we receive the grace of the spiritual master, then only we can receive the grace of Sri Krishna. So here we see that Kalindi, she expressed to Arjun that, I want to get married to Krishna. Then Arjun goes and then explain that she want to get married, and Krishna immediately agreed. And then they asked that come and sit in the chariot, and then Krishna took her, and later Krishna got married. So this is another wife of Krishna called Kalindi. So Rukmani, Satyabhama, Jambavati, and Kalindi. The next wife of Krishna is the daughter of King Nagnajit. Her name was Satya, and also known as Nagnajiti, the daughter of Nagnajit. So he was the king in a province, and then he was eagerly waiting that who will get married to my daughter. So for that, he made an arrangement. He wanted to make sure that the daughter gets married to the right person who is brave and the right fit for the daughter. So he made an arrangement that anyone who comes and fight and kind of control the seven bulls whom he was maintaining, very very powerful and wild bulls he was maintaining, and he said that anyone who can come and fight with these seven bulls and defeat them and then control them, he will be the right fit for getting married to my daughter Satya Nagnijiti. So many Kshatriya princes, they came and they fought, but none of them could control. Rather, they got their limbs broken fighting with those powerful and wild bulls. So nobody could do that. So this news spread around the country, and then when Krishna heard, Krishna says, "Okay, let's go and then see, what we will do there." So when Krishna came here, so this king Nagnajit was very very happy because he knew that who Krishna is. So he welcomed him, and then he worshipped him duly, and then he glorified Krishna. And then Krishna was saying that, in our family tradition, we don't have this culture of, giving anything in exchange to get the girl in marriage. So basically, Krishna was indirectly asking him that, why do you want me to fight with bulls? We don't have this tradition. If you want your daughter to get married with me, then you should offer. But then, he pleaded and explained to Krishna that, I made uh, this condition to make sure that the right person get married. I know that you are the supreme lord, you are all powerful, but anyway I put this condition, and many princes in the past, they have come and broken themselves. So it will be good that I maintain that condition still. So then Krishna understood that he wants me to fight. Then Krishna says, okay, if you so desire, then let it be. Krishna immediately got up, you know tighten his belt, and then goes in that uh, wrestling arena. And all the seven bulls, very very powerful and very wild. And what Krishna did was, Krishna immediately expanded himself into seven, and in no time he just defeated all these bulls. And immediately king was very very happy, got married. He gave Nagnijiti in marriage to Krishna. But in that assembly, there's many other Kshatriya princes and the kings were there who has come in the past and were defeated. So, and then they broke themselves. So somehow they couldn't get the hand of Nagnijiti. So they were very disappointed. But when they saw that this Krishna came and then, he took away just like that, Nagnijiti, they became little envious. So all of them together, what they did when Krishna was going back, taking Nagnijiti in the chariot along with Arjun, and they all together they attacked. They started, showering the rains of arrows. And at that point, Arjuna said that, my dear Lord, don't worry, I'll manage. I'll take care of them. And then Arjuna fought valiantly, wanted to please his friend Krishna. And Krishna, you enjoy with your newly married wife. I'll take care of them. And he defeated without even killing anyone. He chased them all away. Right. So Prabhupada, explains that why Krishna expanded himself into seven. Krishna alone also could have defeated them, but Krishna actually wanted to give some confidence to Nagnajiti that she knew that Krishna is already married with many other wives, Rukmini, Satyabhama, and Jambavati, and Kalindi, and all of that. Then, though she wanted to marry Krishna, Nagnajiti very eagerly she wanted. She was, eagerly waiting for this day. But Krishna also wanted to give the confidence that, you should never think that I'm already married to so many other wives. Then I'll not be able to give you the time. So that is Krishna. He can expand and he can be at the same time with everyone. And not only that, he can expand into seven, but he can expand himself into innumerable number. And that is how Krishna is sitting in our heart as Paramatma. Krishna expands in the form of Paramatma into each and every living entity, not only just each and every living entity, but into each and every atom. Andandarastha Paramanu Chayandarastham. So Krishna can expand unlimitedly, innumerable numbers. So here is showing that, I can reciprocate at the same time with everyone. That is Krishna. That makes him the Supreme Lord. So one who claims, I am Bhagavan, and nowadays we see that every other person, every other day, new Bhagwans are keep emerging, the bogus and the fake gods. So they're the test. Can they reciprocate with everyone at the same time? They cannot. Nobody can. Krishna can only do that. So that is why, that is the explanation that Prabhupada writes, that Krishna expanded himself into um, into seven, and then showing that I can deal with any number of. So if I have many wives, not only just eight wives, but Krishna has 16,108 wives, and there is a whole chapter in the Srimad Bhagavatam where one time when Narad Muni he visited Dwarika, and he was amazed to see that how Krishna has 1600 and 108 palaces, and in every palace with every wife Krishna was there and engaged in different activities. Somewhere Krishna was busy with talking, conversing with the wife, somewhere he was playing with the kids, and somewhere he was eating, and like a regular household. And he was amazed, Narad Muni was amazed to see that Krishna can do that, he can reciprocate. So this is how Krishna also married Nagnajiti. And then another wife of Krishna is Mitravinda, sister of two kings, Vinda, and one more king. And then she also was looking to marry Krishna. And then she got married. And then two more wives that Krishna got married was uh, one is Bhadra, another cousin of Krishna. Krishna's one of the aunt daughter. The aunt was Bhadravati, and a daughter. Yeah. So Bhadra. So Krishna married Bhadra, and another one is the, the Lakshmana. So like that, Krishna married the eight wives. So eight names are, just to close: Rukmani, Satyavama, Jambavati, Kalindi, uh, Mitravinda, Nagnajiti, also known as Satya, the Bhadra, and Lakshmana. These are the eight prominent wives of Krishna, and there's a story in the Srimad Bhagavatam that how Krishna married all these wives. So there is a chapter that Krishna married uh, in the five queens married by Krishna, and in the Samantaka jewel we see the two more, which was like Satyavama and Jamavati. So they are mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam 10th and all these stories, and this is how Krishna married. So many lessons can be learned from this. This different queens, they approached Krishna differently, and Krishna reciprocated with each one of them differently. Someone through austerity, someone through surrender, somebody through that intense longing that they're wanting. Somebody approached Krishna through the devotees like that. You know, so Krishna reciprocates with everyone, and uh, so what we can learn from it is that we should hear about Krishna, and by hearing, like the Rukmani, how she got interested in Krishna. Shrutva Gunan Bhuvana Sundar Shanvatam De Shrutva Gunan. Just by hearing about Krishna, Rukmani never saw Krishna. But in that assembly, she was the daughter of the king. And sometime all these Brahmanas will come and they'll talk about Krishna, Krishna's glories, Krishna's characteristics, Krishna's qualities, and then she will hear. And just by hearing, she developed so much affection, so much love that she decided that I should marry Krishna. And she wrote the love letter, the first ever love letter. She wrote, and through the Brahmana, she said that Krishna, I already gave my heart to you, and please come and then take me, and like that. So, the important lesson that we can learn from all this story and this discussion is that when we constantly keep hearing about Krishna every day, this Krishna Katha, Nityam Bhagavata Sevya, and we do here, we all come together and we read and we hear some glories from the Srimad Bhagavatam, some stories, which is given by Srila Prabhupada. So just by hearing, there's so much of attraction and affection one can develop in the heart. So this hearing is such a powerful process, and that is why the Bhagavatam recommends that this hearing should happen every day. It is not once in a while type, but Nityam Bhagavata Sevya. So we might be busy in so many things, but we just squeeze out some 15-20 minutes every day, like we all are coming now in this auspicious month of Purushottama, 9 to 9:20. But only just it should not be limited to only just 30 days, but it should continue. It is Nityam Bhagavata Sevya. And just by hearing this, Krishna Gada, Krishna's glories, Krishna's pastimes, we gradually develop attraction towards Krishna. We start longing for Krishna, and then we have that intense desire to have Krishna in our life. Then ye yatha mam prapadyante. Krishna also reciprocates accordingly. And another way of hearing about Krishna is chanting Krishna's name. So Krishna is absolute, his name, his form, his pastimes, his glories, everything is absolute. So we definitely come here and then we hear all this 15-20 minutes of Krishna Katha, but also please squeeze out some time and chant the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So every day, those who have not been chanting, some of you may not be chanting. So please take this opportunity in this auspicious month of Purushottam, and then start chanting daily. 1 round, 2 rounds, or how much ever you can chant. Try to chant more and more, and then hear attentively the holy name. By doing that, Cheto Darpan Marjanam, our heart will be cleansed, purified, and to the degree your heart is clean, to that degree will develop the attraction and affection and the love for Krishna. So please do chant every day and join this call and invite your friends and family so more people can be benefited by these discussions. And once your chanting is done, we have this link in the Purushottam group. If any of you are not there, please join that group. So go in the description, there is a tracker. Put in the tracker that you are chanting daily. Every day fill in, and then we'll recognize some of you and we'll give a special gift, spiritual gift, special reward, just to encourage all of us. Okay. So thank you everyone. I will read and hear more tomorrow.